And we are live, guys. Welcome to another live stream from Men of High Value channel. My name is Joseph Darling, and we are going to talk about a 90-day challenge just for you when it comes to no ejaculation, no porn, no masturbation, none so ever. Now, why should we do this? Why should you even try? Well, first of all, I have to tell you that personally, I'm just going to share my experience with semen retention. Because I was very religious growing up. And basically we were told not to masturbate. But obviously, as a teenager, you masturbate and, there's porn. Sometimes there was access to porn for me and, there would be masturbation. Normal teenage years. And then I came to the point of 18 years old. I was going to actually be a missionary for 2 years in Africa. And I had to be clean, okay? Which meant no porn, no masturbation, man, had to be disciplined, right? And then I go on a mission and it just happened. All I remember is 2 or 3 times that it happened within a 2-year period. Maybe, there were nocturnal emissions here and there, but I don't count those normally. And then I come home and basically practicing semen retention again. The thing is that I had so much experience with this without even knowing its true powers and what could be done with it. And then I get married as a 23-year-old, as a virgin, and then I just massively start to ejaculate. And basically, my focus, kind of died. I was still massively ambitious, still massively motivated, but I just ejaculated several times a week because I was married to a very beautiful girl. So, this is... And then basically she kind of lost interest in me because I was a lot more excited than her about sex because of my hyperdrive sexual, gratification aspects of life. And so, one time I just said, no, I'm not gonna ejaculate. And that was during sex. And I didn't. And I was like, that was interesting. And just the more understanding I gained from books, from articles online, from YouTube, from different places, just kind of, I'm like a contrarian. If the mainstream is doing something, I'm gonna do the opposite, because I know that if I just do the opposite, then everything will turn out fantastic. Mainstream is to go and get yourself a job. As a contrarian, I go and establish my own business and create jobs. The mainstream is you either don't invest in stocks at all or you invest in stocks. But the non-mainstream is to actually create the stock. The mainstream is to buy your own house and live in it and pay the bank. While the contrarian view is to actually buy rental apartments and rent them out while you still rent from someone else. I'm all about contrarianism. And that's the best investors have always been contrarians. The reason why contrarians are so important is because they're leaders. And there's such a shortage of leadership on planet Earth today. So if you want to find out if you can be a leader, you want to find out if you can lead yourself, because that's where it starts, then I want you to join me on this 90-day challenge. I'm a little bit ahead of you because right now I'm on day, 52. Day 52. And I have to tell you that during this time period, I've had no nocturnal emissions. What is a nocturnal emission? It's basically that you have a wet dream and then you basically blow your load during the nighttime and you wake up and it's wet. Nothing. No masturbation, no ejaculation, no nocturnal emissions. Do I feel fantastic? I have to tell you, I feel absolutely, I feel great. And my focus is on par, and I'm not distracted. And if I am distracted, it's my own fault because I haven't filled my schedule. If I filled my schedule, then things would get like this immediately done. So I'm working on my planning aspects and everything. But anyway, the point is, you should participate with me on the 90-day challenge. Starting from today or from the last time that you ejaculated, if you remember when it was, you probably do if you're a normal person. Set up a schedule for yourself. What I have here is a 90-day chart. You just basically do a 9x10 chart, if you can see it, and then you cross off each day that you managed to no masturbation, no nocturnal emissions. I want you to actually manage to do the no nocturnal emissions as well. But, you know, if it's your first time, then forget about the nocturnal emissions. Just don't count them. Just count every single day that you, during your awake time, you just did not ejaculate. And I want you to report back to this channel on how you're doing during your process. Comment down below. I'm on day 50, I'm on day 10, I'm on day 15. Just keep it up. And as you report to me or to the channel, that will actually help you to stay on track with the challenge. Now, why should you do this? First of all, there's people out there, obviously, who would criticize this. Everyone will always criticize the contrarian because he's doing something different. So I basically chose 2 articles online. It's basically semen retention myths. And then I'm rating. Okay, so first one was from a guy named Dudley Seth Danoff, who's a medical doctor. And he wrote the book, The Ultimate Guide to Male Sexual Health. I'm going to quote him, and then in between, I'm going to tell you what my experience is. He says, some claim that avoiding ejaculation for long periods of time to conserve semen will turn you into a Superman with an improved physical appearance, enhanced strength, greater mental clarity, and increased confidence. Some people claim it. I think I'm one of them. And then he says, semen retention is not medically recognized practice. Sperm production remains constant even when you refrain from sexual activity. And I disagree with that point. Because semen production will remain constant when you refrain from sexual activity, yes, for a time period, which will produce a little bit anxiousness, nervousness, and self-consciousness, and just not being your own self. And the reason why is because you're not expelling the seed. You're doing something abnormal. And your system is like shocked. It's like, what's going on here? But if you get past that, you just get past that phase, that's when things start happening. It always gets worse before it gets better. That's an eternal principle. It's darkest before the dawn. And obviously, you know, this medical doctor maybe is not looking at that from that standpoint. Anyway, and he says the semen is stored inside your body in structures called the seminal vessels. When these vessels are full, they spontaneously release the accumulated semen while you sleep, resulting in what are commonly known as nocturnal emissions or wet dreams. He must not have tried 90-day challenge. I don't think he tried it. I'm on day 52, guys. Nothing. So there must be something here. The bottom line is that semen retention is physiologically impossible, and any benefits claimed from the practice are bogus. On the other hand, frequent sex is not only one of life's great pleasures, but it is also good for your physical health, your mood, and your psychological well-being. Now that's interesting, because I'm not saying that if you just have normal sex 2-3 times a week with your committed loved one, and you're, even masturbation once in a while, it's not a problem. It really isn't. But the problem is your addiction to the dopamine. Your problem is not being focused and disciplined in your daily life. That's what we're trying to solve here. And even if all the benefits that we state, on this channel and anywhere else that you look up semen retention and it's actually working for somebody, what if those things actually didn't even work and they didn't exist? No health benefits, no superhuman benefits, no nothing. Even if it helped you to get confidence that you can actually choose not to do something and be disciplined and actually win over your emotions, that's massive. That increases your confidence. And if that just increases your discipline and confidence, and that's the only thing you get from semen retention, it is worth the semen retention, that alone. Having your confidence increase like, will 10 times X your life in every single area of your life. Most people are not confident. Most people are premature ejaculators. Most people are not able to control their sexual drives. So, what if you just tried it out for 90 days? He continues on saying, like, the main risk of too much masturbation is irritation or damage to the skin of the penis from excessive friction. I mean, you may get fatigued from jacking off frequently, just as you would from any physical activity. Really? Are you serious? I mean, you're using your arm, for goodness sakes. It's not like you drain yourself because you're, like, hyperactive. It's like, almost seems like he's never masturbated before or something. I don't know. Anyway, but if you use your penis frequently and vigorously, it will invigorate the rest of your body and keep your spirit young and vibrant. Masturbation is no substitute for sex, but it certainly is better than no sexual activity. Completely disagree. And by the way, I don't really listen to any doctors. Do you? Okay, so another article. Scientists just debunked the no sex before sports myth. Okay, so basically, Rocky Balboa in this movie, he's being told by his mentor and coach that, what was it? Sex with women, or women weaken legs, or something like that. And basically there's been many coaches that have told their guys to not have sex the day before. Now, obviously, these guys don't dare talk about semen retention for a long period of time. Maybe some of them do, who knows, right? But the point is, what does he say? The article. Peter Dockrell, he says, 2016, the notion that athletes shouldn't have sex before they compete as it could negatively affect their performance is one of the longest held superstitions in sports. But that myth has just been thoroughly debunked. All right, let's see what the article says. He just continues the articles as like blah, 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 blah. And then the last two paragraphs, he says, all we can really say is that there's no clear evidence to suggest that the former detracts from the latter, provided athletes make sure they get a good night's sleep before they compete. He's basically saying there's no clear evidence that sex before your sport is bad. So he basically say it was totally debunked in the beginning, and then at the end of the article he says, well, we don't really know. And then he says, okay, the present review demonstrates that sex activity in sport is poorly investigated in both males and females. However, the data available do not really support the misconception that sex activity can produce a negative effect on the athlete's performance. Anecdotal experiences sustain, on the contrary, a positive effect of performance if sexual activity is undertaken at least 10 hours before sports competition. All right, so a guy is having sex, he's an athlete, and he's having sex not closer to 10 hours before his competition. That's great. Now, why would that calm him down? The reason why it calms him down is because he has sex very frequently. If you have sex very frequently and then suddenly, one day, okay, no, for 3 days, no, sorry, I can't, right before my sport. Obviously, it gets worse before it gets better. So he's going to be a bit shaky. It might actually be better for him to have sex before that performance. But if he had practiced semen retention for a long period of time and actually is calm, and he knows how to channel his emotions and use what I explained in the last video yesterday, he would be so far ahead of everyone else. But at the same time, this is just my word for it compared to Peter Dockrell or this medical doctor. So who should you listen to? How about you listen to yourself? How about you listen to your body? How about you just try the 90-day challenge and see who is actually right or wrong? That's the cool part about things. You can actually try them out. You don't have to just go off someone's opinion anymore. You try it out. If it doesn't work, but the thing is that you have to try it for an extended period of time. You can't just try it for a little bit and then hope for the best, or take that small sample of a few days or a week or 2 weeks and believe that that's it. You have to get past at least the 3-week or 4-week mark to get any form of like, interesting. But imagine if you did 90 days, bro. Oh my gosh. All right, so in addition, I have another book called Success. Now that's an interesting book. How to use your own sex energy to tap into the genius within. So it's not just health benefits, it's also creativity and understanding the world and being able to produce businesses. I promise you. Okay, so, and then there's a whole chapter in this book. The last chapter is a medical perspective, talking about how semen retention is completely non-harmful. It has nothing to do with prostate cancer or all that stuff that people are saying, well, aren't you afraid of cancer? Don't worry about it. It actually has no risk, no effects at all. And one point is a question at the end. Is the retained energy harmful? The answer is the retained sex energy is not harmful. If so many people in the world have retained their sex energy and claim that it is giving them a special power, then how can it be harmful? In fact, it is most helpful. So, I'm just going to end there. By the way, if you're single, this is the best practice, okay? You don't have to ask anybody. You don't even have to tell anybody, except for us in the comments, right? By liking the video, subscribing, and making sure you comment on a daily basis while you're actually doing this to kind of keep you on track, but also helping my channel, of course. And then, if you are together with a long-term partner and you are having regular sex, good for you, great. But ask for permission to, you still have sex with her, but you just don't ejaculate. That's going to put you into super drive, and it's going to, might create an imbalance. I'm just telling you, because at the last video I said first you have to control it, right? You're uncontrolled and then you're controlled. But if you're having sex, that's the channeling part. That's like increasing your sex drive, and it might, get you distracted. So, if you have any questions about that, comment down below or email me. I mean, the email is right there, guys. You can actually email me. All of you can email me and asking questions. I love answering questions, and right of now, I'm actually not even charging anything. So, just do that. So anyway, just wanted to share that with you guys. Hope you have a fantastic day. I'm ready to conquer this day. Let me tell you one thing that I did in front of the mirror today. That's the benefit I have from just having this massive house right now without anyone else. I had like a massive warrior brawl in front of the mirror. Just waking me up in the morning. Man, you singles out there who live, don't live in an apartment, or you're in a place where you can actually do that, it's fantastic. Now, if you're in sports, then you'll have that on a regular basis. But man, just the testosterone spike of having that. Anyway, just beautiful. Hope you guys have a great day. I'll talk